Consistency is the foundation of mastery.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
On my desk right now are 4 calculators that look exactly identical to one another. Why? I want to talk to you about a principle of consistency today, and I want to welcome all of you. Hi, those of you who are on YouTube. Super glad to have you. Our subscriptions are going up on YouTube. If you've not yet, go to the YouTube channel to the Appraiser Coach and subscribe and like this video if it's helpful. I want to talk to you today about consistency, but first I want to talk to you about consistency with data. How about Synapse? Keeping your data consistent and presentable to your appraisal report and to the readers of that appraisal report. That's what Synapse will help you to do. Go to Synapse by going to their web page. It's sparkforappraisers.com. Spark, F-O-R, for appraisers.com, and learn more about Synapse. All right, folks. I want to teach a principle today, the principle of consistency. What is the principle of consistency? Well, folks, it is the idea that when you have a repetitive task, when you have something that you do consistently, the more consistent you can make it, the more value you are going to bring into your life, the more you're going to be able to produce. It's one of the reasons that I wear a blue shirt almost every single day. It is always the same shirt. It's the same size. It is the same brand. It's the Stafford brand, the JCPenney Stafford brand. I know, big spender, right? Every single morning, I do not have to think at all about what I'm going to wear. Now, on the weekends, I do mix it up a little bit because I do believe in the power of creativity as well, right? But folks, there are so many things that I have to think about on a day-to-day basis that getting dressed in the morning should not be one of them. And I know that sounds like a silly thing, but I did a podcast earlier. Look for it. Why does Dustin wear a blue shirt every day? I think it's a blog post as well. And I explain this in more detail, but the gist of it is this, and I got this idea from Steve Jobs. If you ever saw Steve Jobs anywhere, it was always the same outfit, right? It was the black turtleneck. And I don't think he wore shoes either. But the idea was, and he was asked about it once, why the same wardrobe every single day? And he said, I have so many things to think about, and I'm paraphrasing, but I have so many things to think about every day that what I'm going to wear today should not take up my brain power. I want to save my brain power for other more important decisions. I think that's wise. Is it a little eccentric? Maybe. But folks, I found that in my own life, it is true. This morning, I did not have to think about a thing. I went to my closet. There are about 10 of these blue shirts hanging there. About the only decision I had to make was, is it a warm day or a cool day? You can see on the YouTube, I've got the long sleeve shirt, so it's a cooler day today. It was about 49 degrees this morning when I put this on, and I've got blue short sleeves. I got blue long sleeves. If I switch cameras here, you can see that I'm wearing my khaki pants. Let's actually switch to that camera right there. You can see I've got my khaki pants. That's my typical wardrobe every single day. Why? Consistency. Well, Dustin, what about the calculators are on your desk? Again, if you're on YouTube, you can see I've got all the same calculators. It's the Casio MS-80 TV. And I know some of you are like, well, what about the fancy calculators, the 12C and all of them? Okay. These are the calculators that I use as an appraiser. I'll tell you why when we get back from the break. First, I want to pause. Remind you, we're sponsored by a great company called Synapse. Synapse, you've heard of it? And the question is, what is it, Dustin? Why do I need it? Why should I pay for something like that? I can make adjustments in my reports. It's $2,000 for a fireplace. It's $4,000 for a bedroom. It's $6,000 for a bathroom. Are you sure? How do you support that adjustment? If you are before the state board, or even as simple as your client saying, where did you come up with $65 a square foot? Do you have an answer? Folks, if you have Synapse, you do have an answer. In fact, you have multiple answers. It gives you multiple approaches to the same adjustments so that you, as the expert, can choose which one to use. Check them out by going to spark4appraisers.com. Again, it's spark4appraisers.com. Welcome back to the program. Dustin Harris hanging out in the podcast chair. You can see that podcast chair behind me. I was pleasantly surprised when I went to our YouTube channel the other day that we've got thousands of subscribers now to the YouTube channel. Thank you for that. We've always had a YouTube channel, but it's mostly just been audio with some some logos up there on the screen. But now you can see behind the scenes. I've got 3 different camera angles. We'll just pop through each of them very quickly. You can kind of see what I'm talking about here. I've got one from the overhead, as you can see. I've got one from the front. Yeah, sorry about that one, by the way. You have to see my face straight on. And then we've got one from the side. But today I want to talk about what's on my desk right here. So the YouTube channel is picking up. I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if I looked around, I probably could find a 5th one. In fact, I can see one right now. It's over there on that table. Folks, I started using the Casio MS80 TV years ago. I got used to the layout, and what I found was I wasn't always working at the same desk as a mobile appraiser. Sometimes I was in my car, and sometimes I was at my home office. Sometimes I was at the office, and sometimes I was at somebody else's desk, like literally over this desk, over this camera. There's a second desk in this office, and there's one of them over there. So here's the deal. The principle of consistency comes to mind, right? The principle of, if I need to make a calculation, I don't want to have to take half a second to go, oh, okay, wait, I'm at that desk and this is a different calculator. And okay, how do I clear? Okay, got it. Not that it would take that long, not that it would be that difficult, folks, but it's half a second that I don't have to take, because every single desk in my office has this calculator on it. It doesn't matter if I'm home, I've got one of these in my bag. It doesn't matter if I'm here at the office. It doesn't matter if I am on that desk over there. I always have the same calculator. It's all about consistency. And I know some of you are saying, well, Dustin, that's ridiculous, right? You're talking literally half a second of your brain power has to be put into this idea of consistency, and that's going to make that big of a difference. Well, if you've taken my Go Create Some Value workshop, I talk about Kaizen. It's a Japanese word that basically means continual improvement. Now, what does improvement have to do with consistency? Well, it's the small things that matter, right? It's the idea of, I don't have to take another second to consider which calculator I'm using. By the way, I should answer the question, why do I have 4 of them on my desk? Well, I went over to that supply closet just a second ago to get one of these legal pads, which is a small legal pad. This is my go-to. I've got 2 pieces of paper on my desk all the time. I've got a Post-it note. This will allow me to actually stick it somewhere. And I've got a legal pad. This is my my brainstorming pad, if you will, different notes that I'm writing down with different meetings. In fact, I've got some papers here that I've written on, and these are to-dos, right? Things that I need to get to. But I never have to think about what I have to write on. It's always the same thing. Again, consistency. Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, made this comment. Consistency is the foundation of mastery. Consistency is the foundation of mastery. Embrace repetition, for it is the heartbeat of excellence. Think about that for a second. If you find something that works, this calculator works for me, right? It's not a 12C, but it works for me. I do it over and over and over. It's about repetition. Embrace repetition, Tim Cook says, for it is the heartbeat of excellence. Folks, what is it in your life that you can make more simple? What procedure can you put into your process that will allow you to be repetitive, which seems boring, but allows you to be more creative, because now you can use all of your brain juices somewhere else. on your creativity, on content creation, rather than the same old idea of what am I going to wear today. I started an answer, and then I think I got sidetracked. I went over to that supply closet to pick up one of these, and I realized there was 3 of these stacked up just like this in the closet, and I go, I guess if I have one go out, I've got some extras. And it was a funny thought that I had. I don't know if I've talked recently about the power of consistency, finding something that works, folks, and doing it over and over and over again. I want to invite you. I mentioned earlier our Go Create Some Value workshop. I had somebody recently take the Go Create Some Value workshop. I don't have her quote in front of me, but she basically said everything in there was relevant to today's appraisal world. It was several years ago when we did the Go Create Some Value workshop, but I'm glad people are still finding it relevant today. If you need a fresh start, if you need foundational principles upon which to build your appraisal business so that you can be successful and not just own your job, but own a business, I highly recommend that you check it out. Go to our website, theappraisercoach.com, and go create some value.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.